Good morning, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to Week 10, Year 488 of King Arthur Pendragon, The Great Pendragon Campaign, Book 1, The Fall of Uther.
Epic.
Yeah! The longer the
Yeah.
title is, the better the show is.
Yeah.
As proven by this very show. Good morning, all of my friends. How are you all?
Good.
Good morning.
Good. What have y'all been up to in the last 2 weeks? We were gonna play last week, but one of us suffered a terrible malady, and the doctors and chirurgeons operated miracles upon them, and they have returned.
It's true.
Yes. Nidian, Eric, how have you been? What have you been up to in the last week or so?
Somewhat a fair amount of different things. I've been getting into watching a bunch of old movies, and right now I'm working my way through Kurosawa's collection, and super good. Just gonna say that, everyone.
Yeah.
If you want a good action director to steal from for your GM prep and get an idea of like framing scenes and what to include and how to emphasize certain things, watch Kurosawa's films. Super good. Super good.
Have you watched Redbeard yet?
No, I have not.
Redbeard is probably my favorite. It's a total sleeper, but it's fucking amazing. It's
I'm
about
adding
a
it to the list.
doctor. It's about a medieval doctor, basically in Japan, and it's great.
Okay.
Wild.
Good to know.
I really like Dreams. You should watch Dreams.
Dreams is dope.
Yeah.
I think the only
So-
Kurosawa film I've seen is Seven Samurai, but it's really
Yeah.
good.
It is.
Yeah. So, did that. Was just on a podcast recording for a game of Mouse Guard, which was always one of my favorite games. And let's see. And then later today, I get to play Jared Swardson's Lacuna for a special version of It's Never Sunny in Duskfall. So I'm super excited getting to play all of my favorite games and watch all these great movies. So life's been pretty good.
Awesome. That sounds great. Jess, what have you been up to in the last while?
Not a whole lot. It's kind of been nose to the grindstone. We've been working on some major feature development at work, so that's taking up most of my life. But I restarted Korra recently.
Nice.
Colin's never seen it, so it's his first time. But I'm always down to rewatch that show. I love it so much. We're on book 3 already.
Oh, really? I just finished
Yeah.
book 2 and just started book 3.
We're like flying through it.
Yeah.
It's so good.
I'm enjoying it a lot, but a lot of people have told me that like book 2 drags a little bit, and I definitely felt that.
I think it's my least favorite.
Yeah. Like, you know, the sort of expansion of the mythos to include the spirit wilds, and then like I'm very
Yeah.
interested to see what happens to the world as a consequence of the spirit wilds
Oh.
rejoining the world or whatever.
Yeah. I love the like first Avatar episodes. The way that they're illustrated
that
are
is-
so beautiful.
It is super cool, yeah.
The rest of the season's kind of boring.
Yep.
Or book, excuse me. The rest of the book.
I think it's just like they introduced the Northern and Southern Water Tribe leaders, and then like the Northern Water Tribe leader was so obviously a bad guy
Yeah.
like, from the very beginning,
Like,
and
you
it's
guys.
like, come on,
Come on, Scooby Gang.
Try
You can
to-
get this.
try to, yeah.
Yeah.
But super stoked to continue forwards. That's awesome. Has he seen The Last Airbender?
Oh yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, definitely.
Very cool. Kira, how are you?
I'm great. How are you?
I'm excellent. What have you been up to for the last 2 weeks or so? Anything
Hi.
super cool going on in your life?
Well, for Valentine's Day, my partner Jeremy and I watched Pretty in Pink for the first time.
Okay.
Nice.
Neither of us had ever seen it all the way through. And I suddenly understood like James Spader's like entire career.
Nice.
Like probably my favorite James Spaders are like in Crash and Stargate. Those were like my 2 favorite James Spaders. Now I have a third, Pretty in Pink.
It's good to add on to your favorite actor for sure.
Yeah. Super weird actors in movies, you know, just like super young, getting their career started.
Yeah. So we were fiddling with your sound before
Oh, no.
the show, And now you're quite quiet. Is it possible to increase your volume without increasing the wind tunnel?
I don't know. I'll give it a try.
Okay.
You can keep talking. Wait. Test computer and mic. Is this better?
Oh.
On a scale of 1 to 3 James Spaders?
That is like 5 times as loud,
Oh, no.
which is great. But maybe just like one tick down a little bit.
How about,
Like half of James Spader, like one half
James
down.
Spader?
1/2
Down.
James.
Is that a good James Spader level?
I think that's a
I
really
think so.
excellent level of James Spader for
Cool.
this show.
All right,
Excellent.
awesome.
Yeah,
Yeah,
great.
Stupid.
Yeah.
And we don't have the wind tunnel, so everything is great.
Yay, that's fantastic.
Perfect. Now we just have to remember what all of these settings are
I'm
for
just gonna
next
take a
week.
picture. Yeah.
Screen caps.
Yeah, take a
Always screen cap.
screenshot.
Mm.
Yeah. Oh right. Mm-hmm.
Luke, what have you been up to in the last 2 weeks or so?
Work has been kind of crazy. We're planning a big event for PAX East Kickstarter, so it's just been a little extra stress on top of everything. And it is time, my friends, to pack our longship and prepare for our journey to Denmark. So we have been stuffing envelopes. I have made mistakes in my life, and this is one of them. We are stuffing 30,000 cards into like 5,000 envelopes to fulfill inheritance. So my crew has been really, really lovely about this. But we've just been sitting around the table, grabbing, filtering through these decks and sorting them into these 13 different envelopes. And so Jared played the role of the lector, like it's like we're in a factory. So Jared actually ran us through some Parsley games while we're doing this, because after hours of stuffing envelopes, you run out of things to say.
Yeah.
So that's cool. But then I've had to like balance the other side of my life. Like I've had to just go like full on, I need fucking games in order to get through all the stress and boredom. So
Yeah.
we played an amazing game of Burning Wheel last night, like in our kind of long-running campaign, very like high-flying wuxia action, jumping from royal barge to royal barge and a royal procession after a wedding and assassins and a giant. Super, super fun. But also, I have been obsessed with Long War 2.
Long War 2, the video game?
The XCOM mod, XCOM 2 mod, Long War 2. So I was up super late last night, just doing the like one more mission.
Nice.
It is dope. So
That's awesome. I haven't played XCOM yet, but I started playing Dishonored 2, and then I switched over for The Witcher 3 for a bit.
right.
So I'm about 2 hours into Dishonored and 6 hours into The Witcher, and yeah,
Cool.
good video game times.
Luke, what is it about the Long War that's like really getting your attention?
So my first mission, I walked in like it was like I'm like XCOM and I'm running and I got a gun,
Yeah.
and then just like
Save the world, everybody!
and I just fucking like die. It just
Yeah.
And I mean I've played so much XCOM, right? I played through the first one like 5 different times, and hardest difficulty, like all that shit. Like I play Iron Man, I'm like XCOM. It's just my thing. I just love this type of game. So I redid the mission. I'm like, okay, I got to rethink this. And I crawled through this mission and I didn't fire a shot, and I hid. I spent 6 turns just hiding in one place, and then grabbed the objective and ran, and then spent 5 turns hiding in another place and accomplished the mission, successful, flawless rating. And I was like, this is the best game ever.
Of course so.
Because I was like sweating the whole time, like, oh God, oh, here they come.
I know that I need to play XCOM, because that's the story that everybody tells about XCOM. They all say, yeah, I'm super gung-ho and I ran in and I just got blown to pieces. And
Yeah,
somehow that's excellent.
Well, then you gotta. It's what I like about XCOM. What they do really well is that every scenario, every even action is a puzzle, and so like it's so, you're like turning it over in your hands and looking at it and like and thinking it, because you've got to basically set up this like little clockwork mechanism and then hit go and hope that everything kind of
Fires.
clicks together in the puzzle. And then if it doesn't, then it's a new puzzle. If it does, then mission accomplished.
It's kind of It's a little conflicty. Like
yes,
you know?
it is my.
Like you
it's my speed.
You script the things, and you're like, I really hope it works. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
Very cool. Well, excellent. So, are y'all ready to play some Pendragon this week?
Yeah.
Yes.
Hell
Let's
yeah.
do it.
Good. So, yeah, before we get started, what happened last time? Last time was year 487, right? We're jumping straight into year 488? Yeah.
Yeah.
I think so.
488.
I believe so.
Yeah. What happened last year?
It's kind of a blur, but I need a doctor. I think everyone passed out.
You were wounded gravely, I remember. Yes. You went on some naval raids along the coast of Britain, right?
Yeah. Southeast, right?
Yeah.
I've been telling everyone, I've been summing it up that they were like, oh, how's Pendragon going? I was, oh, it's great. I went raiding with Prince Maddox. I was beaten unconscious by 2 Saxons. I had a daughter and my wife died in childbirth. I love this game.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Our end of year phase was rough. Oh, man, I forgot about that.
Yeah.
It's just everyone's fantasy, played out.
Right.
Pendragon is such a unique game because everyone dies, usually in an unpleasant way, and then very rarely they'll die in a way where you're like, yay, I won by dying this way. But it's very different from most role-playing games that way. Yeah, that's pretty true.
Yep.
Yeah, so who all was gravely injured? Was it Elaine and Hrethric?
I don't think I actually was critically injured. I think I was just beaten unconscious.
I think that anytime you go unconscious, you have to check the couragery needed checkbox.
What?
I don't know why mine is unchecked, but I am at 6.
Romacron actually.
I'm unconscious.
Did you roll Curagy? Because sometimes that checkbox gets double checked.
Yeah, so if you check couragery needed and also uncheck chirurgery, it will, like, those 2 boxes were linked.
Yeah.
But Romacron has done an update to our character sheets so that they are no longer linked, and now you can check them separately. Let's see. Unconscious. Let me see.
Yeah, I didn't take anywhere close to a major wound.
Right. Since they have been gravely injured, unconscious characters are considered unhealthy, see states of health, and must check the chirurgery needed box on their character sheet immediately.
F you, Greg Stafford. Clearly you have been never choked out.
That's true, but I don't think the Saxons were choking you out, Hrethric.
I don't know, Stephen. That was a pretty dirty scene.
Yeah. Cool. So let's see what that means. States of health. Unhealthy. If the couragery needed box is checked, the character is unhealthy and needs a physician's care. Any physical exertion is liable to worsen his or her condition. Yes, normally you gain it by falling unconscious or taking a major wound or taking a mortal wound, or the caregiver fumbled the first aid roll.
Shit.
Don't give me that evil GM laugh.
Okay. Incapable of taking care of themselves properly, natural deterioration may set in unless someone actively tends to their needs. See chirurgery below. Yes. So, you're going to be resting for several weeks as a consequence of, going on some naval raids. You've got, like, a number of excellent physicians with you. So, yes.
Yeah.
It's applied to unhealthy patients only. Its purpose is to halt deterioration. Only 1 roll per week. On a fumble, loses 1d3 hit points. Character requires couragery until he has recovered half of his total hit points. Okay, deterioration causes the loss of 1d6 hit points per week. This damage occurs on Sunday at noon.
Yes.
I
Yep.
love this. So natural healing occurs also at noon every Sunday. At that point, you regain a number of hit points equal to your healing rate. So yeah, let's actually go through this for you all.
Oh Lord, Steven.
Yeah. So who is gravely wounded? Is it just Rethric and Elaine? I think so.
Yeah, not me.
I don't think I am.
Cool. All right, so you're at 4 and you're at 6. So your healing rate is what? Let's see, 3.
My healing rate is 3.
Yeah, both of you are at 3. All right, so
Where do you see healing rate?
it's on derived statistics
Oh, I see
at the
it.
bottom. Yeah.
Cool.
So let's see. You're being cared for carefully in a tent with lots of like smokes and vapors, and there's maybe a nun has come to attend to all of the wounded from the raids along the coast. Wow, yeah. So you need couragery until you've recovered half of your normal hit points. So that's 14 for Jess and 14 for Rethric. Right on. So okay, the sisters attend to you, and they have very excellent couragery. So right, great. Elaine, your first week is a success, and Rethric, your first week is also a success. Both of you regain your healing rate for this week.
So I'm conscious.
Yes. Interestingly, Elaine is still sort of lying in bed, wavering in and out of consciousness as the nuns attend to her.
All right. Well, yeah.
How do I edit? Oh, do I just have to bump my wound down?
Yeah.
Right,
Yeah. Just
yeah.
reduce one of the wounds. Yeah.
Okay. 2.
Yep. And then, Elaine, your second week was a success. Rethric, so was yours. Elaine, your third week was a success. So was Rethric's. And now, neither of you
15.
need couragery, right?
Yep.
Hey.
I need one. I'm at,
You need one more, Rethric.
with your third 3 weeks, right? Well, I'm only at 13.
Yep. Okay. Your next week is a success.
All right.
That's good. And the reason that is good is because, deterioration is real bad. And I wanted to go through that because, it's like the risks of being gravely injured in battle should not be understated. So,
Thanks, Steven. We were really taking it lightly.
yeah, the kitty gloves are coming off, Luke.
Welcome to the Craig Stafford Scared Straight program.
Yeah, exactly. The real King Arthur Pendragon starts now.
Oh, shit.
Yep. Right. So the year rolls on, and you recover. You're fully at your homes, and you're back up to full health.
Sweet.
Year 488 dawns. But I must say, it worries me. Attacking the Franks? Don't you think it's foolish, I say, and terribly dangerous? King Claudius has never lost a battle. What if the Franks start invading us too, like the Saxons? Wonderful, I say, to help Praetor Syagrius, and by God, the cause is so just. Good for him. Oh, the king is attacking the Franks. Well, I guess we'll see some plunder next year. I hope my husband brings me back some of that French ribbon. Ah, that's what it looks like. But can the king be attacking Cornwall? That duke has insulted him by ignoring the summons too often. There can't be that many Irish raiding his coast. Listen, darlings. The king is just training the new knights with his attack, because there is a new Saxon army pillaging up north. He'll need veterans next year. So,
True dat.
yes. So the word on the streets is that King Uther is mustering his army, all of the knights of the realm, and he's going to basically be going and helping the Praetor Syagrius at long last go retake his homeland. So
We are so fucked.
So I think there's a wait. Yes. Okay, that's later. Yeah. So Earl Roderick summons all of his knights to him.
Yes.
And they're all together at Salisbury. Yeah. How do you all feel about the rumors flying around about like going to France and taking back the Roman Empire sections of the country?
Rhetoric is excited.
Yeah, I'm super about that.
Couldn't
Cool,
ask for a better
cool.
opportunity for glory,
Mm-hmm.
right? To prove yourself. Yeah.
Agreed.
Excellent. Yeah, let's see. What is it? Yes. He ruled the city of Soissons in Neustria. Cool. Yeah. So he gathers everybody together, summons all of his knights and his counselors to advise him, and he announces to the gathered group, and I guess probably Sir Lycus is sitting with you all and drinking a large flagon of ale. And Sir Elid is off to like the table to your right, sitting with her arms crossed. Maybe she's even like polishing a breastplate at the table as everybody eats. And Earl Roderick, he announces to the group. He says, "Yes, the king has issued a summons. It seems as though he has 2 tasks for his armies this year. We can either stay in Britain under the king, or we can venture to the continent under Prince Madoc. Yes, here we will muster at Sarum Castle, and we will march on the Roman road west from Sarum through Selwood and into Somerset and Wells. The Earl of Jagant comes from the south, and we have to go speak with him to ensure his continued support of Uther. On the other hand, the great Praetor Syagrius, a blustery man who I think some of you have had encounters with," and he sort of glances across the room. And you, as you look around, you see like a couple of knights sort of like laughing behind their hands a little bit. It seems like maybe you all aren't the only ones to have had run-ins with this gentleman. On the other hand, the Praetor Syagrius has asked of King Uther to lend him an army to go and retake his cities in France. I will be inviting many of my counselors and knights to come speak with me privately, that we may discuss this matter and decide where our help would be best put to use. But for now, feast, be merry, enjoy yourselves, for battle rises on the horizon.
How does everyone feel about Zagreus? Do they just kind of like think he's silly? Are they positive, negative toward him as
like
a person or his cause?
How are you trying to find this out? Are you just like trying to talk to the other knights?
Yeah. Just like what do you think of the man?
Yeah.
What is your impression of him?
You know, I think nobody really wants to like come straight out and be like, "Oh, he's a fop." But everybody's kind of like, "Oh, you know, he has such strange foreign tendencies." And I think, you know, someone says that near you, and Lycus sort of snorts behind his hand. Yeah. If you want to like roll intrigue, you might be able to like find some under the table information about sort of more broadly what the kingdom thinks about Syagrius.
Yeah. I want to get a feel of like what everyone, if they're like siding with him, if they want to fight for him, if they're just doing it because they're asked to, that kind of thing. Intrigue.
Yeah. Cool. So, yeah, a 16 versus a 10, not quite what we were hoping for. Yeah, I think, you know, nobody's really opening up too much. Everybody's, you know, for the love of Uther, for the love of the Pendragon, and for my loyalty to Earl Roderick, I will go wherever he and his counselors decide. Lycus even, he stifles back his laugh, and when you approach him, he says, well, as knights, it's not our duty to question why. Ours is but to do and die.
Does Lycus say that?
Yeah, that's what he says.
I bump his elbow so his drink spills into his beard.
Yeah. He shakes his beard out. And as all of this is going on, there are a number of counselors being summoned into back rooms to go speak with Earl Roderick. And the night grows quite late, and finally he comes out and he addresses the crowd. He says, I've heard from a great many noble individuals today, men and women whose experience I trust and who have been with me for many years. But I would also like to make sure that our newest knights get the chance to voice their opinions. And he points to the four of you and he says, Elaine, Nidian, Rethric, Twinwin, come. Let us converse. And he beckons you, but he's not beckoning you to the back room that he came out of. He's beckoning you to a side doorway that leads into the castle.
All right.
Yeah.
Wow. Oh,
Sure. It's like a little scrum meeting. Got it.
Yeah. He just wants to have a stand up.
Yeah.
He pulls you in and says, "Okay, so what are you working on? Who's blocked?"
oh God.
The horror.
Are literally all of us in tech?
I play
That's
games
hilarious.
to escape.
Yeah. Probably most of chat has no idea what's going on right now, but it's best that way, chat.
Yeah, you're not missing out.
Don't stare into that abyss, chat. Do not stare into that abyss.
So yeah, he opens the door for you all and he ushers you through. And on the other side, there's an exhausted looking peasant servant, dressed in finery that doesn't quite fit terribly well, and he's holding 5 heavy wineskins. and Earl Roderick he points and he says, "Grab a wineskin, let us go up to the castle walls and drink."
Oh, peeing off the castle walls.
Yeah. And he grabs one as well, and he says, "It has been long since we have sung. I would hear of your travels along the coast."
Yeah.
Nidian, sing.
Yeah. He takes a long pull from his wineskin, and he says, "My counselors, they bicker and argue. It seems that few of them have any taste for real glory or adventure. What say you for? Dwinwin, how about you? I know you to be a smart and astute knight."
Really? She takes another drink of her flagon or whatever it is of wine. What are you worried about? That their numbers will be too great, so that they'll be too strong for us?
What am I worried about? I worry not of such things. Why, in my day, and he chugs a few gulps of wine, and he gestures of it as if he had a sword in his hand. In my day, I would ride across the lands and slaughter on the left and slaughter on the right, all for the glory of the king. Yeah. But now the realm is in such turmoil. There's so many diversions and divisions, and some of my counselors believe it is wise for us to stay at the right hand of Uther, that we may be favored in the coming years. Whereas, I believe that the future belongs to the youth, and Prince Madoc will surely someday succeed his father. Perhaps it is best to go to the continent.
I don't see why not. There's much glory to be had there.
Yes!
It is stretching us thin. That is my only concern.
It's true. The king will... He has given his orders. He has decreed that half of his army will go to the continent and half will remain here, and it is not up to us to question such decisions, but but merely to decide which half we fall under. Nidian, what of you? You come from great stock, from glorious battle, birthed by the blood of the spear. Tell me, what do you advise?
The blood of the spear.
Well, of course, you honor me, but and I kind of like stammer. I'm like, well, and then I'm stammering, kind of like trying to play like, well, both sides are pretty good, you know what I mean? And then I'm like, no, and I take like a quick drink of my my flask or flagon, and it's like, you know what? No, I really want to go. I really want to help Praetor Syagrius. He is a very just fellow, and his cause is true, and there is glory to be had there. And I'm very, very like poignantly like expressing like, yeah, this is the right cause. I had we met with him, right, Stephen? Like we
Oh yeah, you went
right?
down.
Like, he gave us that impassioned speech, and I feel like I probably repeat that a little bit, being like,
nice.
Like when it was dark and stuff, you could see behind his eyes that fiery passion to reclaim this. His heart is true. That is a good man, and he has causes just. And I will follow that.
And he also, you guys went down to Cornwall with him, right? To try to get the Duke Gorlois to give you.
And I think it was that time when we tried to like hear more about him, and he had like a really. I remember like I failed or something, and that's why I had this amazing like, yeah, this guy's right. And so like I'm just recalling to that a little bit.
Yeah. He sort of he nods, and he sloshes his wineskin against yours.
Yeah.
And he says, yes, your heart burns with the passion for justice. I understand. And, Hrethric, I know your bloodthirstiness is preceding you. I assume you wish to go back to the continent and fight back the barbarians that have overtaken the Roman Empire.
Yes, of course. But there is another thought which has bubbled to the surface of my admittedly young brain. And I propose to you, Lord, that this is an opportunity for us to replenish what we have lost. The Saxons come here and plunder and take and plunder and take. This presents an opportunity for us to go and take back some of what we've lost.
Yes. The king's coffers are getting low, and we must needs replenish them. And there will be much booty to be had for those who go and free Neustria and return it unto the Roman Empire. Yes. Elaine? Yes.
I wanted to say, nothing, and my lord, nothing makes glory glitter so well as a golden crown atop your head.
Yes, I remember well the goods which Madoc and Uther distributed unto all of his knights as a result of his earlier raids. Yes, I think you are very right in that this presents a unique opportunity for us to enrich ourselves. Elaine, where stand you?
I would, of course, be ready and prepared for any job that my king wishes to bestow upon me, but I must admit, I hope that I am chosen to fight abroad, because it would be one of the greatest honors for me to not only be able to fight for my king, but to be able to fight for him in the land of my ancestors.
Oh.
Do you have like a love of homeland or
heritage
something like
or something?
Yeah,
I don't know.
Elaine, let's see what you have.
Skills? No. Traits?
Not at the moment.
That could possibly fall under honor, or maybe love of family.
Family? Well, it's kind of... I don't know which one it is more.
I think it's whichever one you want to sort of prefer in this moment.
Love of patria.
Right.
I'm thinking family.
Okay. Do you want to
I'm thinking like my roots.
Do you want to like roll on it?
Sure.
Do it. Oh,
Whoa.
you crit! Yes! So he can see like the burning passion in your eyes for your homeland.
Yeah.
And he turns to you and he says, Elaine, never have I heard you speak so earnestly on such a matter of importance. Come! And he finishes his wine and he throws the skin down and he says, we will go and you will speak to my knights and counselors and you will tell them what you've told me. And we will go to the continent and lay waste to the barbarians who have attacked the great cradle of civilization. But first, I must piss.
Yes.
He opens his fly and he pees off the side of the walls. There's like a goat down on the ground below, and he says, "Look, I'm gonna hang on. Watch this." Yeah. So he heads back inside with the four of you. And he bursts open the doors, and his face is flushed from the cool night air and the wine that he's drunk, and he says, Sirs, knights, counselors, lords and ladies of my court, I have heard many great things spoken this evening. We have made much talk of what choice we will make, but there is one whose voice I have heard, which will brook no contrary opinion. Elaine, tell my court what you have told me. And he would like you to make an orate check.
Okay.
But of course, because you crit your love of family, you're at a +20.
+20.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, well, let's see if I
No
do it
big
well
deal.
before
You
I
got
say
this.
anything.
Yeah. Wow.
I mean, it's impossible to fail, so... Okay, yeah, totally. So what do you say?
I say, Praetor may be different. He may seem even strange, but his heart is just and true. And I know this man from our travels. We have been through many battles together already, him and I and my companions. And to join him back in the land where my family originated would be the greatest honor to me, and I think a great honor to all of you to fight in a land that is not ours for our own king and bring that honor back.
Yeah, the court is silent at the end of your speech. You hear like a cup fall off of a table and clatter on the floor. And then from the distance, you hear... And Lycus stands up and he's clapping and he says,
Lycus is slow clapping me.
Yes! And everybody stands up and starts cheering, and I think they probably all rush the front of the room.
I put Elaine on my shoulders.
Yeah, exactly. They lift you up and lift you on their shoulders, and they're all like marching you out of the castle. Aquitaine, Aquitaine, Aquitaine. Very cool. So, the night devolves into a raucous party of drinks and song and merriment. And the next morning, Earl Roderick's court makes ready to go and meet King Uther. So, yes.
Yes.
There's a circle wipe, and we wipe too. Yeah. Cool. So I think it's the evening of the night where you're going to set sail, and on the morrow. So that the tide is going to be going out tomorrow morning, just as the sun is rising. It's the evening before. All of the boats are loaded, and everybody is ready to make for the coast of France. You're going to make landfall outside on the coast of Gaul, outside of the city of Bayeux.
Cool. I don't know if there's a mechanic for this, but just like for flavor, I want to send a letter to my family telling them that I'm going back.
I'm
going back
coming.
home.
Cool. Yeah. You mean to your family in France?
Yeah. Well, no. Are they here?
Well,
I think they're here.
I'm sure that much of your family is still here, but you probably still have family off in Aquitaine, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was thinking my family in Britain.
Okay, so to your
to
Salisbury
let them know
family.
that I'm yes.
Very cool.
Just
Yeah,
to
absolutely.
say, like, yeah.
Yeah. Are you sending a letter from like the night of your departure, or are you like do you go ride to meet them before the departure? Probably there's like a period of like 2 weeks where everybody's mustering and getting together and stuff.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Well, if we have some time, I would totally like to ride out and just tell them the news.
Yeah, absolutely. How does your family react? Are they as gung ho about returning to the homeland and taking it back in the name of the Roman Empire?
I think they would be thrilled. I think they would be like overjoyed that I'm doing this awesome thing for the king and for us as a family.
Awesome. By the way, Elaine, you should mark down 10 glory for delivering a rousing speech that swayed the opinion of Earl Roderick's court.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think maybe even your family heard about you delivering your speech, and they welcome you home and they clap you on the back. And they're enthusiastic about your
Thanks, fam.
Right, your representation of your homeland.
Yeah.
Awesome. Excellent. Yes. So yeah, they're aware and they're on board and they're excited for you, and they're ready to welcome you back with open arms, and arms also open for all the booty you're going to bring them.
Dead booty.
Yeah, exactly. So yeah, now it's the night before and everybody's camping. Yeah, and you're like generally like guard duties within a camp tend to rotate through people. But tonight it's the four of you who are on guard duty patrolling through the camp. And there's a large central tent where Prince Madoc is holding council with a number of people. Would each of you make an awareness test for me, please?
I'm not aware.
Pass.
All right.
And Dwinwin. Cool. Very nice. Yeah, so Luke.
Sir.
Herethric, as you walk past the tent, the Prince Madoc's tent, you are the first to hear, just inside, there's like a rowdy murmuring of voices. It's low, it's quiet, but you hear someone speak something angry, and then someone reply back in a very sarcastic sort of tone. So, something like that. Are you going to like try and listen more closely? Are you going to gather your friends to try and hear what's going on? Or are you a proper noble knight who avoids listening on his lord's?
I don't think there's any, like, there's not really a deceitful or like curious bone in Rethric's body, really. But Rethric is always alert for trouble, and if the prince, like, if there's some kind of like obstreperous noble who doesn't want to serve the prince, Herethric is going to crack skulls. So
okay.
Herethric will stop. Like, so this is on Herethric's valor, right? Basically, is there an opportunity here for Herethric to, crack some dog's skull? Well, then he will cock an ear.
Yeah.
But I'm not like, I don't want to know what's being said or whatever. I'm kind of listening to the heat of the conversation.
Right. You're trying to determine if this is insurrection or if it's just a disagreement at the deciding table or something like that.
Correct.
Sure. Why don't you give me an intrigue roll?
Oh, mother. This is what I was trying to avoid, Steven.
Herethric is not good at discerning between these different threats.
No, Herethric, I don't want to.
Yeah.
I fail.
I think you're standing there outside of the tent, and you hear someone inside say, no, we mustn't. And someone else says, but we must. It's the only way Uther will be safe.
All right.
Yeah. I think probably next comes marching Nidian comes up to the tent, and you see Hrethric sort of like bent next to it, listening to something.
And I am not bent next to it listening. I am standing looking away at the stars and maybe with an ear cocked to the tent.
Yeah, you see his ear sort of perked up in the direction. I stop
Nidian. I kind of gently pat him on the center of the chest and provide him all of the opportunity and cues without me going, hey buddy, listen to what's going on in there.
I know. Yeah. Well, I feel like I'm probably like eating an apple or something. I'm like, hey, what's going on? Oh.
Right. I'm like, the crunching is too loud.
Yeah, exactly. So I throw it away, and then like I'm listening intently too.
Yeah. So Hrethric, as Nidian is walking up, you hear the voices behind you. Madoc, fall is. Yeah. Nidian, you come up. Hey, you're starting to bite me. I don't like that. Down you go. Yeah. Nidian, you come up and you see a look of concern on Hrethrick's face.
That's true.
Yeah.
So
I'm trying to gaze and decipher what's going on.
Cool. Yeah, give me an intrigue test as well.
Nailed it. Yeah, we're both not the very intriguing types.
Yeah, you're both standing there sort of like backs to the tent, trying to listen as hard as you can without looking like you're listening. And yeah, it sounds like there's a group of nobles in there talking in hushed voices about, how the plan is terrible and how Madoc has to be taken out so that the entire army doesn't get killed over in France.
Oh, this sounds like a perfect time to just barge in and be like, well, actually,
I
I'm gonna do that.
Stick my finger in Nidian's collar, and no. So I want his feet going like this.
All the time. People say that all the time. Let's do it. No, okay, yeah. So I don't.
I look around for any of our other companions who passed the test. Who's with them?
Dwinwyn also approaches.
I give Dwinwyn a little help me nod.
What? They're wrong, and I want to tell them that they're wrong.
Oh my God! What is this? The internet?
I know.
So Dwinwyn walks up and I guess whispers to Hrethric, "What is going
on?" There appears to be some sort of argument or disagreement. It's difficult to determine who or what is being said, but we should just remain alert.
Okay. She listens in. Should I also roll my intrigue?
Yes.
Okay. Where is it? Oh, there it is.
Oh my God, I have a cat who's just trying to she's putting a paw with a claw on it onto my leg. Ah!
Yeah.
What are you doing? Stop.
I did not succeed. That was
Yeah. You're like,
Oh no.
You hear them all talking in there, and they're like, should we use the black poison? Should we club him in his sleep?
Who are they trying to kill?
Prince Madoc, he must die.
No, they're not saying any of that.
That's what you all hear.
Oh my God. Should I roll up?
Yeah, you're wandering around. Yeah.
Hey guys,
How's it going?
Steven, I think if you're goading us,
doing this right now. All our heads are popped up around the corner.
Yeah, it's a totem.
This is a prudent versus reckless, I think, Steven.
Yes, I agree. But let's see what Elaine contributes to the situation.
Intrigue?
Yeah. Oh, okay. All right.
Oh my God. Thank you.
What's going on?
Yes. So hang on. Why don't the three of you test your prudent first?
Okay.
Whoa. Come on.
I'm not. This isn't going to affect anything. It's just to see where you are on the stage of Are
I
you
don't
ready to charge in?
Yes,
I'm
I'm
better
Well,
than-
now wait. I need to now test reckless,
Yes.
right?
Test reckless.
I test both.
Oh, come on,
Ah!
Greg Stafford.
You are neither prudent nor reckless, so it's up to Luke what Herethric, how far Herethric is on this. Yeah. Okay.
Uh-oh.
Cool.
When
Oh shit.
What?
Oh man. Okay, hold on. I am more reckless by 1.
Did you fail your prudence test?
Oh
No,
no,
you succeeded your prudence, so it's only if you fail your
it's
prudent that
either
you have
or.
to.
Oh, it's only if you fail. Oh, thank
Yeah,
God.
yeah. So,
Oh boy, I was like, oh, I'm gonna subtweet them. Oh my God, I'm doing it.
so generally,
No, we're good though. We're good.
Nidian and Dwinwin are both quite like ready
Oh, good.
they're ready to hold themselves. You're gonna wait and maybe jump on this a little bit later. Herethric is a little more in the middle, but Elaine walks up and you see these three sort of exchanging glances. And how do you broach this situation, Elaine?
Do I actually hear what they're saying?
Yeah, like you walk up and you can actually get a good ear of what's going on inside.
I guess I just like hush them. I'm like,
Yeah.
whatever's going on, just let me see what I can hear.
And so
I
like
listen in.
Herethric, Dwinwin, and Nidian, they failed their intrigue, right? They're kind of standing near to the tent where they can hear the murmurs of voices, and they heard like a couple really concerning words spit out of the fray inside of there, but they weren't like going close or listening in or anything like that. They were just standing farther away.
Okay.
You are more skilled at intrigue. So what does this look like? How did you gain more information from this? Because you're not just standing there with them and listening better. You're actually performing the action of investigating what's going on better.
Oh. Is that the door of the tent, the like flap?
Yeah.
Is it open?
Maybe like a crack, yeah. You can see a bright lantern light leaking out into the darkness.
I think I just like roll sneak and like try to listen as closely as I can, because I don't want to like go in and act nonchalant, because they'll like change the tone of the conversation if someone else walks in,
Totally.
even if they don't look suspicious.
Yeah.
So I'm just listening.
Yeah, give me a dexterity check to see if you're stealthy.
Okay.
She passed her intrigue.
Oh yeah, that's true. Yes, very good point. Yep. So you step up close to the flap of the tent, and you can see inside they've got 2 guards posted, and you can just barely see a couple red-faced men and women sort of talking back and forth between each other. You hear a couple of them start talking over each other, and then there's a pause where one of them stands up and delivers an oratory speech. And then another one speaks, and there's laughter from inside, and there's another sarcastic quip. And finally, you hear, you see Prince Madoc walk across the center of the room. So you see him cross in front of the flap. He's obviously in there. And he slams his hand on the table, and you can see like a map of Neustria laid out upon the table. And he picks up a dagger, and he slams it down into one of the cities. And he says... He says, "One city, Bayou, that's all, no more. We cannot afford to waste our time on these idle fantasies." And the entire council sort of simmers down and gets quiet. And then they continue speaking. More or less, conversation has faded into agreement and deference to Prince Madoc's authority in this situation.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right, so I slink away from the tent. Madoc is among them, and
That's what I thought.
I feel it seems as though he fears spreading our numbers too thin. He wants to take Bayou and nothing more.
Prudent, I suppose.
So,
I'm gonna whistle off into the night then. I'm gonna swing my nightstick and
Nothing to see here.
Cool. Yeah, you all disperse into your various rounds for guard duty, and the night passes on. The morning rises early, and the tide begins receding. Everybody launches themselves into small boats that bear you out to the ships, and you climb aboard. Yeah. Yes, so you all set sail for the coast of Gaul.
Cool.
Cool. Okay. So at the head of your fleet, there's a couple, like 3 or 4 boats that are manned by mercenary Irish kerns, who King Uther's army has bought to come fight alongside them, and especially to serve as a vanguard in order to help sort of like absorb some of the brunt of the blow from whatever landing or charge that we decide to make. So, and as such, you all put in on the coast of Gaul, and the first ones to land are the mercenary Irish kerns who they bring their smaller and more shallow bottomed ships very close into the shore, and they hop off down the sides of their ships and they wade through the surf onto the shore. And maybe a few hours later, there's a small village a ways back from the beach side, and you can see huts catch on fire and smoke start rising. At that point, Prince Madoc, whose ship you 4 are on, he points to it and he says, "We will go around the coast up to the next village. We will land there. We will make landfall, return down here on foot, and then march inland. From there, we will strike for the city of Bayeux. It's the first city to be liberated for the Praetor Syagrius." I suppose probably all of this is being delivered with the Praetor next to him, Earl Roderick next to him. He's sort of addressing the contents of this ship with this command. And the Praetor, his eyes shine and his face is bright. And the salt wind sweeps his hair back. And he looks so much like a returning conqueror coming home to free his lands. So, yes, you sail around the coast a little ways until you reach a tiny fishing village, and you drop anchor and sit offshore overnight. In that evening, is there anything that you 4 want to achieve, or anybody that you want to talk to? Lycus is with you, but Sir Elid has chosen to stay back home and go with Uther.
I want to go talk to Madoc.
Okay, nice.
I want to request audience with the prince.
Yeah, you would probably do that through Earl Roderick. But of course, the moment you mention to Earl Roderick your desire to have audience with Prince Madoc, he says immediately, "Yes, of course. You are a knight whose counsel has served me well, and it is meet that you should speak with the prince." So he arranges a meeting. So I think probably Madoc is he's been given the captain's chamber on the ship, so it's richly decorated and well lit and quite warm. There's a delicious spread of foods on the table, and you step in. Earl Roderick says, "Prince Madoc, this is my good Sir Hrethric, one of our more recent younger knights to join my muster, and he would speak with you." Madoc nods to you.
Well, I bow deeply, and I begin by praising the generosity and mentorship of Earl Roderick. And how that he has lifted me up from nothing and given me every opportunity. I hope not to squander what has been given to me. And then, most puissant prince, I swear my arm and my heart to you on this and all matters. You may rely on me, whether it is a matter of honor or whether it is a matter of unspeakable deeds that need to be done. I am yours to command.
Prince Madoc nods, but it's less like acknowledging and more like, yeah, of course.
Cool. I just want to I just want to introduce myself to the prince, like, and just like let him know that I am a loyal servant, of course, of Earl Roderick, but also of his.
Yeah, excellent.
I'm not trying to rise above my station or anything, but
no, sure, sure. Yeah, I understand. You're trying to just catch his eye a bit.
Yeah. After the battle, when I'm lying on the beach unconscious, I want him to recognize me as he steps on me to get on the boat.
Yeah. That was that nice Saxon knight that. Cool.
So courtesy?
Yes. But it seems like you were really playing up your loyalty to Uther and Roderick. Do you want to bring your loyalty to your lord in on this role?
Sure. I'm gonna bring some other shit involved too.
All right.
Yeah. Of course. Yeah, no problem. I shine with I am the most loyal knight.
Yep, that's excellent. Yeah, so you get a +10 to your courtesy, of course.
And because Earl Roderick introduced me, Hrethric would never speak of himself, but Earl Roderick did.
Yes.
I would like to rely on my glory.
Yeah. So you get what, +2? Is that right?
+2.
Yeah, absolutely.
All right, cool. So it's a +12 modifier. Bam, 15.
Oh yeah, nailed it.
No crit, but good enough.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, I think Prince Madoc, maybe he hears your words, and at first there's kind of a yeah, of course you're my loyal servant. Everybody's my loyal servant. But then he hears you speaking, and he sort of like in the middle of your speech, he holds up his hand and he waves you to silence. And he says, "Hrethric, 'tis a strange name, and your hair, the color. You're a Saxon, are you not?"
Indeed.
"I have heard of you. I have heard tale of a handful of Saxons who have joined under my father's banners. Indeed, you and your kind have impressed me greatly. In fact, were they not our enemies, I would welcome the Saxons as our allies, for their battle tactics have been difficult for us to take apart. They have won many victories against us. You and your kind, you are more than mere barbarians."
You will find us a hot-blooded and passionate people, sire.
It is true, I have found that. But, yes, your passion and your hot blood on the side of rightful Britons, this is a great asset to us.
I seek only to serve. Your father has been good to us.
Hrethric.
We repay such kindness with great loyalty.
Yes, I see that now. I see that. Hrethric, thank you for coming and making your obeisance to me. I appreciate all that you do for Britain.
I bow and retire at his leisure.
Yeah, he thinks you're a pretty cool guy.
As I said, I just want him to recognize me as my body's rolling in the surf.
Yeah. Absolutely. Okay. So the night passes uneventfully, and in the morning, Prince Madoc and the Praetor Syagrius are both up on the deck of the ship, sort of shielding their eyes from the glare off of the water, looking at this tiny fishing village. There's maybe like 4 or 5 buildings, and then a fleet of small fishing boats, like anchored onto the shore with stakes. And sometime in the mid-morning, maybe around 10 or 11 a.m., a white flag is like raised up on a pole in the village, and Madoc says, "It's time!" And with that, a number of boats are pitched over the sides of the ships, and everybody begins unloading and rowing to the shore. So the disembarkment of the boats actually takes about 4 days just to get everybody loaded into these boats and row them to shore, row the boats back, get a new set of people in. It takes quite a while. Of course, being knights, you all also brought horses with you, because you can't go to war on foreign soil without your horses. So, yes. As all of this is going on, I think Praetor Syagrius crosses paths with the 4 of you. as the foot soldiers are being loaded in first. He probably sees and recognizes Nidian as as the knight that he delivered his impassioned speech to, and he claps you on the shoulder and he says, "Nidian, hello."
Praetor, it's so good to see you. I'm so excited to do everything I can for you in the battle to come. Listen, if you could do me such a great honor, give me a task so I can carry out for you something special, so you can carry my name. You know, like I want. I'm really want to like give me a special mission, or like give me that extra thing. I want to go the extra mile for you here.
Yeah.
I want to show you how impassioned I am about this. If you just give me that shot, you know. But like I don't know. I'm kind of being selfish a little bit, being like,
put me in, coach.
But I love you so much. Yeah, put me in, coach. Yeah, exactly. Right. Like I just really want to do this for everyone. Right.
Yeah. So I'd say that making that ask is a courtesy check. However. You get a +10 because he's worked with you, he knows you, he understands you. And then if you're trying to like bring a passion to bear, you can put that on top.
I think +10's fine for me.
Okay.
I'll take that. 10 modifier.
Oh yeah, look at that, crush it. Yeah. He sort of shakes his head in surprise and says, "Wow, Nidian. I had no idea you were so eager to serve me, but yes, battle, the next battle, battles, plural, many, so we'll smash through Bayeux and then on into the center of France and then strike north towards Neustria. And then finally, we shall free the great city of Soissons." And he says, yes. Why, I need a group of knights and equites to help me ride throughout France and summon the equites to me, who used to be my loyal servants. Will you ride at my right hand with your comrades?
Here's a question for you, Stephen.
Yeah.
Me doing this, would that mean that I'm going to be excused from glorious battles while I'm out, like, getting people?
No.
Oh, thank God. Okay, we're good then.
He needs to, like,
oh, man.
gather his forces to meet up with Uther's forces, and that's what he's inviting you to do. And then there will be glorious battle.
Yeah, I would love to. It's like, so it would be a great honor for me to do to promote and rally fellow is it Aquitanians? Is it just say Aquitanians? Is that
sure.
Or your
Aquitanians, Neustrians.
Your loyal knights to the cause.
Yeah, he nods. He says, yes. Find your friends that Lonnie and Hrethor and Dunawunawoon. Get them too.
Oh no, the truth comes out.
I thought
forgive
we were
me.
friends.
I know.
Forgive me for possibly this question, but how will these countrymen know that I am to be listened to, and that I come with good faith from you?
He roars in laughter. He roars in laughter and he claps you on the shoulder and he says, "None of them are gonna listen to you. Listen, Nadian, you're gonna come with me."
No, that's Dadian's his father.
Very well. Okay. All right. Thank God. I thought I had to do some of this stuff alone. All right. That's good.
Yeah.
So I don't have to go around being like, excuse me.
Have you heard the good word of the Praetor Syagrius?
Yeah, sir. Yeah. So I don't have to hang outside the Whole Foods here in France with a clipboard. We're good.
Right. Yeah. Yeah, so he gathers the four of you into his boat when he's going off onto the...
Oh, no.
No?
I am not down with Nidian's plan.
Oh, really?
Nope.
Okay.
No, I just made a big show of being
loyalty to Maddock, yes,
the
true.
Maddock and Roderick train, so we're going in separate boats if that's the case.
Okay, yeah, sure. You can go in the boat with Roderick. Elaine, Dwinwyn, how do you two feel? Do you want to ride off and... help Syagrius gather his forces?
I'm all about this cause, so yeah.
Yeah, Syagrius came to my party, so I'm down with that.
Oh yeah.
I'll go with him. He's a weirdo, debaucherous fellow, quite like myself.
Yeah, true. Very true.
Yeah, I definitely want to go with him.
All right, cool.
Hold on. Yeah, Steven, like real quick though, like is this gonna be a problem if we're gonna split the party real quick? Because otherwise we can just change it, and we can.
No,
Okay.
it's not gonna be a
All right,
problem.
no, it's cool. I didn't want to cause any problems. Thanks. Let's go.
No,
I mean, are we like betraying Madoc?
no,
by
not at all.
doing
Not at all.
this?
Like,
Okay.
Syagrius needs to go gather his forces. Madoc knows he needs to go gather his forces. Madoc knows he needs like an escort to go gather his forces. He goes to Madoc. He's like, check it out. Natty and Lonnie and Dunawoon are going to come with me to go gather the forces. Madoc's like, I don't know who those people are, but okay.
Do you even know who we are?
Yeah, awesome. So you three lower into a boat with Syagrius, and he's got, like his big brass helm with his big red feather off of the top of it, and his long purple cloak, and his bronze breastplate gleaming in the sun. And he stands in the front of the boat like this, and he looks back and he says, "Now row!"
Oh man.
Yeah.
This is like less fun than I thought it would be. Going to this guy. That's cool.
Yeah, so eventually one or more of you set to on the oars and row him to shore. And as he lands ashore, the entire small fishing village, they're all there, turned out, all 12 or 15 of them with their children. And they all take a knee and they press their fist to their breast and they lower their heads and they say, Monsieur Syagrius, bienvenue au Aquitaine. And he goes around and he lifts up their chins and he bestows upon them, words of encouragement in the mother tongue of Latin. You all find your horses and he finds his, and you all saddle up and go riding off into the interior. Now, Hrethric,
Yo.
you hop into a boat with Earl Roderick, and the two of you head to a shore. And there's a couple of other folks with you. Probably Sir Lycus is in your boat as well.
Dope.
And Earl Roderick actually, he speaks with you very briefly about your encounter with Prince Madoc, and he compliments you on your approach and how good it is of you to make the case not just for him, for Earl Roderick and Salisbury, and not just for the Knights of Britain, but also for the Saxons, and how helpful it will be to change Prince Madoc's view of these people in the coming years. As you get to the shore, Earl Roderick says the first task set before us will be that of assembling great siege engines that we can use to break the walls of Bayeux.
Walls?
Walls.
That's better than wolves.
I'd much prefer the wolves of Bayeux.
He nods. He says, "Yes, walls. It is a great city that we lay siege to. No simple battle will this be on the fields of Britain, but instead we will starve them out and launch our forces against their walls and break their defenses."
I thought it was a tapestry.
He laughs. He laughs. He claps you on the shoulder and he says, "This is why I bring you with me, Hrethric."
Oh God, I'm like 500 years too early for that joke, but damn, it felt good.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Hrethric will do whatever is necessary, of course, but Hrethric is deeply puzzled in his naivete.
What? Whence comes Hrethrick's puzzledness?
Hrethric is not a siege engineer. Hrethric is a... Hey, everybody. Hrethric's a dummy. He thought he was like they were gonna park on a beach and he was gonna walk over and crack some French dudes in the skull or get back in their boats, and that was gonna be it.
Yeah. So I think first he you all start setting up a camp, and then Roderick turns to you. He says, "What knowledge have you of siegecraft, Hrethric?"
What is siegecraft? Says Hrethric. Like he looks at the boats as if he's talking about like a watercraft.
Right. Yes. I think. Yes. Roderick sort of laughs and he says, "Very well. Lycus, please oversee the preparations." Yeah.
So when Hrethric finds out that basically that the Bayuns are gonna hide in that city and not come out and fight, Hrethric goes nuts.
Yeah.
Hrethric like his color rises all the way up, and he just starts like he walks up to the walls and just starts like howling that they're cowards, that they are the most dog coward, terrible, worthless human beings to ever like walk the earth, that they should immediately comport themselves with the grace that God gave them, come forth and accept Hrethrick's axe to the face, as would be most glorious and most honorable.
Yeah.
He loses it when it dawns on him what's going to happen.
Yeah, I think probably like as you head towards the walls, Lycus grabs you by the back of the neck and he's like... He waits a little bit for you to run yourself out, and then he says, "Lad."
Then I do it all to Lycus. Like if I don't do it to the walls, I give that speech to Lycus.
Yeah. He nods in agreement. He strokes his beard. There are streaks of gray in it, and he says, "Lad, you're right. Those cowardly Frenchmen. We will put them to the sword. But if you go close to those walls, Hrethric, listen." If you go close to those walls, they will shoot you with arrows in a cowardly fashion, and you will be dead.
It just gets worse for Hrethric. What?
Indeed, this is why we have come here to this continent, to civilize these savage people and win back from these barbarians the lands of civilization. So, now, in preparation for our siege, I need you to cut me 20 trees in this length. He like starts talking to you about measures and lengths and like how to swing your axe to make the proper joins and cuts.
That's fine. So Hrethric kind of half listens. As he's being led away, he just turns back and just expands his rib cage to the fullest, and then just bellows across the French swamp that we're standing in. Cowards!
Yeah.
And then he goes and chops the wood.
So we see you bellow, cowards, and it like the camera shakes with the force of your bellow. And then we see up on top of the walls of Bayeux, there's two Frenchmen with those weird pointy helmets, and they look across the plains towards the edge of the forest, and they hear. And they do this.
Oh, boo! Oh.
And that, I think, is where we should take our 5-minute break. So don't go anywhere. We'll come back with another hour of ridiculously silly King Arthur Pendragon. We will gather some forces and lay siege to a city. So, 5 minutes. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back. All right, we're clear. Yup.